One heartbreaking headline has left Hollywood and the MonsterVerse community in complete shock. Fans woke up to devastating news involving Kaylee Hottle, the young actress whose unforgettable performance in Godzilla vs. Kong captured the hearts of audiences around the world. At just 18 years old, a promising career and a bright future was suddenly cut short, leaving thousands searching for answers. As tributes began pouring in across social media, fans immediately began asking questions. What exactly happened? How did someone with so much talent and potential become the center of such tragic news? And why has this loss resonated so deeply, not only with movie fans, but with the deaf community that proudly celebrated Kaylee's groundbreaking work? But that's not the whole story. Kaylee Hottle wasn't just another young actress in a blockbuster franchise. She became the emotional heart of the Godzilla vs. Kong films through her portrayal of Ja, a deaf girl whose powerful bond with Kong created some of the franchise's most unforgettable moments. Her performance inspired audiences worldwide and helped bring authentic deaf representation to one of Hollywood's biggest film series. Now, following reports that she died after a single-vehicle crash in Maryland, fans, friends, and fellow actors are remembering not just a tragedy, but the remarkable legacy she left behind at such a young age. Before we look at the heartbreaking details of what happened, let's first remember the incredible young star whose impact reached far beyond the big screen. The heartbreaking news of Kaylee Hottle's passing has left fans around the world searching for answers. But beyond the headlines is the story of a remarkable young actress whose impact reached far beyond Hollywood. At just 18 years old, Kaylee had already accomplished something many performers spend an entire lifetime trying to achieve. She wasn't simply part of one of the biggest movie franchises in the world. She became one of its emotional centerpieces. When Godzilla vs. Kong premiered, audiences immediately connected with the portrayal of Ja, the deaf girl whose unique bond with Kong became one of the film's most memorable relationships. Without needing long speeches or dramatic monologues, Kaylee conveyed emotion through her expressions, her presence, and American Sign Language. Her performance earned praise not only from moviegoers, but also from the deaf community, who celebrated seeing authentic representation on such a massive global stage. That success continued when she returned in Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, proving that her first performance was no accident. Off-screen, fellow cast members learned American Sign Language to communicate with her, and many later spoke about the warmth, kindness, and positivity she brought to the set. Following news of her death, tributes poured in from co-stars, filmmakers, fans, and organizations connected to the deaf community, all remembering not just her talent, but the inspiration she gave to countless young people. But while Hollywood mourns the loss of a rising star, the circumstances surrounding the crash have also drawn widespread attention. Investigators have begun piecing together what happened during those tragic early morning hours, and the details paint a deeply heartbreaking picture. That's where this story takes its most emotional turn. But as the heartbreaking details continued to emerge, it became clear that this tragedy was even more devastating than many fans first realized. According to authorities, Kaylee Hottle wasn't driving the vehicle. She was one of two passengers in a car that left the roadway and struck a culvert in Ijamsville, Maryland, during the early morning hours. She was rushed to a trauma center, but sadly did not survive her injuries. Officials have said the crash remains under investigation, and excessive speed is believed to have been a contributing factor. The news sent shockwaves throughout Hollywood and the deaf community. Within hours, emotional tributes began pouring in from fellow actors, filmmakers, friends, and fans who had watched Kaylee's remarkable journey unfold. Co-stars including Millie Bobby Brown, along with other members of the entertainment industry, shared heartfelt messages remembering not only her incredible talent, but also her warmth, kindness, and infectious smile. Schools, advocacy organizations, and fans around the world joined in honoring a young woman whose influence reached far beyond the movie screen. Perhaps the most emotional tribute came from Kaylee's own family. Her father, Joshua Hottle, shared a deeply personal message in American Sign Language, expressing both unimaginable grief and gratitude for the time they were able to spend with their daughter. His words touched thousands of people online, reminding everyone that behind every celebrity headline is a family experiencing an unimaginable loss. For many fans, Kaylee represented far more than a rising Hollywood actress. She became a symbol of authentic representation and possibility. Through her performances, She inspired countless deaf children to believe there was a place for them in mainstream entertainment. Her success proved that talent speaks louder than barriers, and her legacy will continue encouraging future generations long after credits roll. Sometimes the brightest stars shine for only a short time, but the impact they leave can last forever. Kaylee Hottle's career may have been tragically brief, yet the inspiration she gave to millions will continue living on through her films, her advocacy, and the unforgettable character of Ja. Her story is one that Hollywood and her fans will never forget. As fans continue reflecting on Kaylee Hottle's life, one theme appears again and again: gratitude. Gratitude for the joy she brought to audiences, for the doors she helped open, and for the authentic representation she gave to millions of people who rarely saw themselves reflected in blockbuster films. Although her career lasted only a few years, its impact reached far beyond the monsterverse. Her portrayal of Ja wasn't memorable because of elaborate special effects or action scenes. It was memorable because of the emotional connection she created. The relationship between Ja and Kong became the heart of the films, reminding audiences that compassion, trust, and communication can exist even without spoken words. For many viewers, those scenes remain among the most powerful moments in the franchise. In the days following the tragic news, social media was filled with fan art, video tributes, and messages celebrating Kaylee's talent and kindness. Many fans revisited her scenes from Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, sharing how much a performance meant to them. Members of the deaf community also highlighted the importance of seeing a deaf actress play a deaf character authentically on one of the world's biggest cinematic stages. While the investigation into the crash continues, those closest to Kaylee have asked for privacy as they mourn. Rather than focusing solely on the tragedy, many supporters have chosen to celebrate the legacy she leaves behind, a legacy defined by courage, authenticity, and inspiration. Though her life ended far too soon, Kaylee Hottle's work will continue reaching new audiences every time someone watches her films. Her performances stand as a reminder that talent has no boundaries and that meaningful representation can change lives. She may be gone, but the impact she made on Hollywood and on countless fans around the world will endure for years to come. Rest in peace, Kaylee Hottle. Your light, your talent, and your unforgettable performances will never be forgotten.